Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam tabaraka wa sallama tasliman kasiran kasira amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa man ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allah wa amila salih wa qala innani minal muslimin. My dear brothers and respected elders, we are talking about Allah, about His orders. So we should have in our mind or in our belief that Allah is watching us. Allah is hearing us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hears everything. No one is able to conceal anything from Allah. Allah will know it. Either we disclose it or we are not disclosing. Certainly Allah knows what in our hearts. Too many things which are spoken by the hypocrites during the time of Muhammad SAW was not heard by the Prophet SAW himself, but it was heard by Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala conveyed it to him, or conveyed it in the Quran, that the munafiqin were telling this and this and this and this, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give an answer to what they have spoken. So they were speaking behind the back of Muhammad SAW. But what they have spoken were disclosed by Allah in the Quran. So nothing we can hide from Allah. Rashidi cannot hide what he has in his heart. Yazid cannot hide whatever he has in his heart. He may hide it from me. He may disclose it. He may not be willing to disclose whatever in his heart to me, but certainly Allah knows. So if he's for all this while having a wrong belief in his heart, nobody knows except Allah. But since I have Allah has given me, the device to use, as Allah has given tabut. Tabut to whom? Jalan. Isn't it? Similarly has given me a device upon which I know I can ask him. I can ask Allah what is in the hearts of Yazid. So Allah tell me that he loved his wife more than Allah. And Allah tell me to order him to divorce his wife. He himself didn't know. He said, no. But when he disobeyed that order, until today, Allah, the love of Allah, doesn't enter into his heart more than his wife, because the heart is fully full with the love with other than Allah. So naturally he has no sincerity in all his action. If you love other than Allah more than Allah, you will never have sincerity. How can you do it to please Allah? Cannot. It's a simple logic. It's not hard to understand. If you If we love money more than Allah, if we love your wife more than Allah, if we love everything other than Allah more than Allah, then naturally you cannot do any action of yours with the intention to please Allah. As simple as that. So if you cannot do any action with the intention to please Allah, that means you are not sincere. And when your actions are done without sincerity, it is called evil actions in the eyes of Allah. And naturally it cannot be accepted and cannot be rewarded. So what will you bring when you die? You will bring only the evil deeds, not the good deeds. And naturally the evil deeds will be transformed into punishment of Allah, either in the grave, in the mahshar, or in the hellfire. So all the punishment which Allah has made to fall upon us is not from anything else other than from our wrong action. So when we are committing evil action, we are actually doing injustices to our own soul. Because the evil deed will be transformed into punishment, either in this world or in the hereafter. So all the hardship, suffering that we have to undertake, either in this world or in the hereafter, is as the result of our own wrongdoing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not doing any harm to us. You know? He has not even done an iota of harm to us. But you know, He is only rewarding the good deeds that we do, even an iota of good deeds, with paradise. He done no harm to us. But we think so much not to believe in Him, not to obey Him, because we think He will harm us. Why? Why we refuse to obey Him, to believe in Him? Because we think He will harm us. But actually Allah is not doing any harm at all. Allah reward for any good deeds that we do, even as small as an atom. We will not be unnoticed. It will be written and in our books of account. But Allah do not punish us if we have only the intention of doing evil. Allah punishes only when we do the evils. But Allah rewards us if we have even only the intention of doing good deeds. And yet we cannot do it, cannot fulfill our wishes to do the good deed. Yet we are rewarded. So Allah is so kind. He is so compassionate, so merciful, so kind. What has prevented you to believe in Him and to obey Him when He is so kind, so merciful, so compassionate, and He rewards you even for having intention only to go do deeds? You are not doing it. You are only having the intention, and yet you are rewarded. Such a very, very, very kind God, a very kind God who knows everything, and yet we are not willing to believe in Him, to obey. Why? Why, Sufyan? Sufyan? Why people are not willing to believe in Him and to obey His order when He is so kind, so compassionate, so merciful? Why?
Love of materiality.
Oh. You see, because men do not love the truth. They don't love the truth. The truth is, there is no God except Allah. Allah, the words of Allah are the words of truth. To obey the orders of Allah is to obey the truth. Men do not like. What men likes? Sama?
Kelazatan dunia.
Speak in English. So men do not love the truth, but men love pleasure. Anything that bring pleasure. Be anything, but the most pleasurable things, which Allah has given to men in this world is to have sexual intercourse. These are the most pleasurable actions. So there are many evil deeds, evil doings which are related to this very most pleasurable events and pleasurable actions of men. That is to have sex. Rashidi, it can do without money, can do without many things which are pleasurable, but cannot do without having sex. He loves sex, as many men do. Because sex are very pleasurable. If they don't have women, they will try to have sex without women, with using hands only. Masturbations. Understand? Sometimes they don't have women, they use men or animals, toys, all sorts of actions which of similar nature to having sexual intercourse with women in order to have that pleasure. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala understand. He made us, He has created us, so He has allowed us to marry. Now, when Adam alayhi salam was alone in the paradise, Allah knows that he wants a companions. Allah knows. So He created out of Adam, from one of his rib, a lady named Hawa to become his wife or his companion in paradise. So, from the time when we are created, our forefathers Adam, Allah has given him a companion, a woman. So woman is created to fulfill the desire of man. Man is the main creation, but Hawa, or woman, is created in order to be the companion to the man. But men and women are equally at equal level as a creation of Allah. We cannot harm women, do injustices to them, or trying to override their rights. We have to respect them as much as we want to be respected. So we cannot humiliate women because they are women. Allah do not allow us to do injustices towards women, towards our wife, towards our companion, towards our children, because they are women. Allah orders us to respect, to honor, to give equal rights. So in the wealth of inheritance, there is a share given to women. So because men are given more responsibility than women, so the inheritance are given to men 2 parts. Men, woman, 1 part. That is for woman, a little less. And if you have 4 children, that the parts for the woman divided equally among the children, among the daughters, and merely the part for the man are divided equally among the sons. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the rights of the woman in Surah Surah Woman. They call it Surah An-Nisa. So women should read this part of this Quran, understand it, and read the tafseer. You know, I have, with the permission of Allah, I've written this quite laboriously, the tafseer of Surah An-Nisa. So all women should read this. They should know their rights. You know, we should not wait for people to tell us. We should acquire knowledge. We should read. We shouldn't only waiting for lectures given to us. So we cannot wait. Similarly, the order on inheritance, you know, law of inheritance is also being explained quite detailed in Surah An-Nisa. And we don't know about it. Either we are father or we are son or daughter. So when we do not know our rights and we do not obey, you know, what are the rights of others, what are our rights, you know. If a man died, you know, without having any children, then the wife also have rights, things like that. If they don't have anybody to inherit as well, but you got brothers and sisters, they also have rights. So all those things we have to read, we have to know. How are we going to know it? We have to read the Quran. Quran which has been interpreted with the permission of Allah, which I have done with the permission of Allah. You should buy it. I do not to promote this book not because of material wealth, it's because of your needs. If you do not know the orders of Allah and you don't obey the orders of Allah, then certainly you will have failure in your life. You don't have money, you don't have wealth, it's not failure. But if you don't have action, good action, that will be a source of failure for you, either in this world or in the hereafter. What is important to Allah is what is in our heart and what are our actions. So if our hearts is good, then our actions are good. If our hearts are not good, our action will be not good. So the first thing that we have to do in order to become successful, in this world and thereafter, is to make our hearts to become correct, and so that our action will become correct. Only these two matters, nothing else. The wealth, the material things are only needs. You know, to have food, to sleep, to have a comfort to sleep, protected from the rains and the sun, to have a car. It's all our needs as far as we live in this world. And we will not have that needs anymore once we die. Once we pass away from this world, we don't need food. We don't need to work. We don't need to have a house. We don't need to have a car. We don't have anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will fulfill our needs in the hereafter without having to go to work. Allah provides us food in the grave, in the mahshar, without having to go to work. Allah is also able to fulfill our needs in this world without having to work. But Allah wants to test us as to who among us who are doing work because to please Allah, or to do the work because they want their foods and their sustenance. Rashidi go to work because he wants to have money, not to please Allah. He go to work
To please Allah.
no.
No.
He go to work to earn money.
Allah.
No? Why he go to work to earn money? Because with money he think he will have his needs. He will have his food, he will have his house, rent paid. You know? With work, the things, their needs are fulfilled. The one who fulfill their needs are their works, not Allah. So they go to work because they want to fulfill their needs. This is a wrong intention of working. This is called obeying the order of Allah without sincerity. Allah orders us to work. So we work because it is the order of Allah. What is our intention of working? Not to earn money, you know, but to please Allah. There are none, almost. In this world, anybody who go to work because they want to obey the order of Allah and to please Allah. None. Why? Why there is none, Samad?
They don't have Allah in their heart.
Because they don't have Allah in their hearts. Only they say, I believe in Allah. Like Hanzala. There is no God except Allah. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Hanzala says, in his mouth. That's why the first thing that we have to do, in order to have success, or in order to become successful in this world and the year after that, we have to make our heart. The first thing to be done is to make our heart correct. What is heart? Heart is the belief and the mindset that we have. If we have wrong belief, wrong mindset, is a wrong heart. We have a good belief, correct belief, and correct mindset, then we have a good heart. What is our correct belief? The correct belief is the doer is Allah. There's none who does except Allah. Allah give benefits, Allah give harm. Yeah? Allah is the knower of everything, the owner of everything. Allah sees me. Allah is watching me. Allah is able to hear what I said, either silent or with a loud voice. These are correct belief. And correct mindset. Allah with me, certainly I will be successful. Allah with me, certainly I can do anything. Allah is not with me, I have nothing. This is a positive mindset. So we must have a correct belief and a correct and positive mindset. If we have this, then we have good actions. If we have wrong belief and negative mindset, then we'll have wrong action. You know, the Jews, you know, among all the people in the world, the Jews have the most wrong belief and the most negative mindset. What are their belief? With wealth, certainly will be honored. With wealth, with power. So the Jews, you know, are working very, very hard in acquiring material wealth and power. Very hard. The hardest among all. Because of their wrong belief. Some of them are so proud and so arrogant. They say Allah is poor, we are rich. Because they say Allah ordered us to give charity to the poor. So because Allah orders us to give charity, it means Allah is poor, we are rich. So this is a negative mindset. Very negative. Both of these, you know, Allah hear it, and Allah mentioned in the Quran that the Jews, some among the Jews are so proud and arrogant, said Allah is poor, we are rich. So why Allah led us to fast? They ask Allah, you know, Allah is poor, wanting us to fast. We are rich. So they have negative mindset towards Allah. They have wrong belief, incorrect belief. So the result of which, wrong action, very wrong action. You see the Jews, how much they cause so much injustices to others who are giving land to them. They were having no land previously. The Jews has been made to spread out in the whole world. They were living in many countries in Europe, many countries in Africa, all over the world. They have been made to disperse because of their disobedience to the orders of Allah. They are made to be dispersed in all over the world without a country previously. It's because of their wrongdoings. They are the descendants of the prophets, and yet they disobeyed Allah. They do not help the prophets of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have made a covenant with them that they will believe in Allah, believe in the Prophet of Allah, and help the Prophet of Allah in their work, specifically Prophet Muhammad sallam. But they have betrayed that covenant which they have made with Allah. They do not help Muhammad sallam. In fact, they want to kill him, and he doesn't believe in Allah and don't believe in God. So, because they have betrayed the covenant which they made with Allah, Allah cursed them, make them to disperse in all over the world. But once the Muslim, the believers, also disobeyed Allah, do not do the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil for decades. As a result of that, having weak imans and having disobedience to the Allah, then Allah give back the land to Israel, to the Jews, in order to punish the Muslim, particularly the Lebanese, the Palestinians. What has happened to the Palestinians is actually the punishment of Allah. Allah has made the Jews as a means to punish them. So Allah bring the Jews all over the world back to their country, Israel, and then to do harms, to do injustices to the Muslim, particularly the Palestinians, to drive them away from their homes. So we should not blame each other, but blame our own actions. The Jews, when they disobeyed Allah, Allah punished them in this world. The Muslim, when they disobeyed Allah, the order of Allah, Allah punished them in this world. Because both belong to the religion of the heavens, that come from the heavens. We are not idol worshippers. Both the Jews and the Muslim are not idol worshippers. They believe in Allah, and yet they disobey the order of Allah. They are descendants of the Prophet of Allah, the Jews, and yet they do not do the work of the Prophet. They want to kill the Prophet. The Muslims are the followers of Muhammad sallallahu, the last Prophet of Allah. Allah have chosen all the while only the children of Israel to become the Prophet. But Allah has chosen the last Prophet to be from among the Arabs, not from the Jews. So the Jews was very frustrated and devastated, and they have, they were not pleased that Allah has chosen the last Prophet of Allah to be the Arab, not them. So they are jealous of Muhammad. Because they are jealous, so they do not want to believe him as a Prophet of Allah, even though he was clearly mentioned in their books of Torah and Injil of the coming of the last Prophet of Allah, and all the characteristics of that Prophet of Allah has been mentioned in their books, and it is so compatible to the qualities which Allah has given to Muhammad. They know Muhammad is a prophet more than even they know their son. But because Muhammad was not a Jew, was not from among the children of Israel, but an Arabs, it's actually their cousins. Because the Arabs and the Jews are all descendants of Prophet Ibrahim. You know, the Jews is from the descendants of Prophet Ibrahim with his first wife, Sarah. They give birth to Ishaq. Ishaq gave birth to Yaqub. And all the children of Yaqub, 13 are all the children of Israel. And Muhammad Salam from the descendant of Prophet Ismail. Prophet Ismail is the son of Prophet Ibrahim with his second wife, which is Hajar, Siti Hajar. So they are all cousins, but they fight. The fight, the war which they have is actually punishment for both of them. You know, the most turmoil part of this world nowadays, is that area. The area of Palestinian Israel. The turmoil, the hatred, the evil doing has continued for more than 60 years. Unsolved. None is able to solve that problem except these two cousins, Arabs and the Jews, come to terms and to believe that we are cousins. We come from the same forefathers, Ibrahim alayhi salam. Why should we have war? We should love each other, hug each other, forgive each other, and do not do injustices to each other. So if only both of them, the Jews and the Arabs, come to terms, how much you want and how much we want the land. It's just a land only. It's nothing that valuable. It's only land. But because of the land, thousands, millions have died. One time when the Jews under this Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, 2 times war, strike upon Palestine because they want to win the election. When the election is about to come, he make war. Then the people of Israel was scared, and they must vote him. Another one come, he will make war. But this time, he doesn't make war on the last election. So they couldn't find majority. 3 elections again, repeatedly done. So that's all the political actions which has been made by Benjamin Netanyahu. The Jews knows about this. They are very expert in deceiving people. So they do everything they need to do in order to have power. They don't care about humans' life. They don't care about justice. They care only about material wealth and power. So these are the qualities, wrong qualities, which are driven from wrong belief and wrong mindset. So the only way on how to have the correct belief, the correct mindset, we have to recite, initially we have to recite the kalima. There is no God except Allah, Muhammad, and then to do the work which fulfill the rank of reciting this kalima. And the work which fulfill the rank of reciting kalima is the work of inviting people to Allah, or inviting people to good, preventing people from evil, with the sacrifice of our own wealth and time. If we obey this order, then Allah will make the love of the material things, power, to come out from our heart. The love towards ourselves, towards other than Allah, to come out from our hearts. And then the love of Allah, the kalima, to enter into our hearts. So once the kalima have entered our heart to the level which more than Allah is pleased, then our mindset and our belief will start to change. From a wrong belief to correct belief. From a wrong mindset to correct mindset. Then when our mindset and belief has become correct, then only we have the correct actions. So the Jews and the Palestinians both have wrong belief and wrong action. And you cannot repair things with wrong actions. If the Jews do wrong action, reciprocate by the Palestinian with wrong action, will never end. If the Jews do wrong action, reciprocate with good action, then things may be come to settlement. But if both the Jews and the Palestinians do good action, certainly the settlement of the problem will come an instant of time. So we should not solve our problem with wrong actions. Both the Jews and the Palestinians do wrong action, it will never end till the end of the world. It will continue. And in the meantime, millions, thousands of people will die. So many injury, so many harm, so many trouble will arise. Why should we resort to wrongdoing, wrong action? When wrong action will only create turmoil. Wrong action will only create disaster. Wrong action will create chaos. We should solve our problem with good action. That's why Allah orders the good people, the good men, that to be patient. What it means? To reciprocate evil action with good action. Everybody must do good action in order to solve our problem, either in this world or in the after. If we have wrong action, our problem will not be solved, neither in this world nor in the hereafter. All our problems are solved are not by having discussion on the table, by not giving proposal on ways on how to solve problem, by good action. Only good actions of the Jewish people and the Palestinians will make the problem which are facing them for nearly 60 years will come to an end. Or otherwise, it will not. It will not. What they have, from time to time, they only have wars, fighting, killing, bombing. And this is what is happening also in other parts of the world. Now the Chinese are doing wrong action. The American and the rest will also do wrong action. So both wrong action cannot give results of peace and tranquility. Wrong action will only result with chaos, war, killing, injustices. The whole entire mankind should come to sense, have to come to the correct belief that nothing will work with wrong action. Everything will work with good action. In order to have good action, the whole man and the whole entire mankind should embrace Islam, should recite the kalima, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, and should make the work of inviting people to good and forgiving people from evil with the sacrifice of their own wealth and time, so that the great kalima will enter into their heart to the level which much pleased by Allah. When that is been done, certainly man will have the correct belief and the correct mindset and the correct action, and the whole world will come to a state of peace and tranquility. Okay.